Well, hello there, friends. A fantastic chicken dish today. Tuscan chicken. Fantastic, the way my mom used to make it. Remember, thumbs up if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell. Stay tuned, friends. Tuscan chicken coming in right now. We're doing it together. Well, hello there, friends. Another chicken today. And this is one of my mom's favorite chicken to prepare, Tuscan chicken. So I want to make it the way she made it. It's delicious. And I had it last night, and I'm making it for you today because it's so wonderful. I want to share the recipe with you. It's really, really nice. Very simple recipe. I mean, it's a little prep. It's always prep, you know. So I got some onion in there, folks, and they are cut in julienne and then in half, okay? And one of these days, I said I'm going to finish that video and show you how to cut everything. I will do it. I'm still working on it, friends. So we got the onion right there. We don't want them to be too long. Otherwise, when you eat them, you got a long piece of onion. Not so good. So we're going to caramelize the onion. I got it in regular butter. The onion I got in regular butter. Because I don't care if the milk protein burns a little bit in the butter. It's going to give me some nice caramelization. Chicken. I got chicken breast. Boneless is chickenless. 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 Yeah, I promise you, I didn't drink any of it yet. Boneless and skinless breast. You can do with thighs, with a bone in. My mom used to use thighs and leg with a bone in, but skinless. You don't need the skin because we're going to make a little skin here. We're going to flavor it. We're going to put some paprika. I got a tablespoon and a half of paprika. Let me check the onion to make sure they're okay now. There you go. I don't want to go too fast here. And then I got some onion powder. This is 100% dried onion ground together. And then I do the same thing with the garlic. It's not garlic sauce, it's garlic powder. All right? And then I'm going to put a little bit of cayenne, very little. This is just a little bit of heat. Okay? That's the way my mom used to do it. I'm doing it the way she does it. Ooh, that's a little heat right there. And then we're going to put some herb de Provence. I have thyme, rosemary, oregano, basil, dried, and you can put whatever dry herbs you want, my friends. It's up to you. Whatever herbs you want to put in here is perfectly fine. And then I'm going to make it a little bit where it comes out a little more like this. Then I'm going to take a fork, check on my onion. While I'm doing this, I'm taking a spoon. I'm going to take a fork and mix this up really good, really quick. You see? And then we're going to dredge the chicken in there, friends. And the paprika, you put as much or as little as you want. It's really up to you, friends. It's always up to you, friends. It's not like it's got to be written in stone, okay? So, on the fry pan, I have butter, but it's clarified butter. Because otherwise it'll burn, you see? And I don't want it to burn. And I'm looking at 350 degrees before I put it in there. So I got my breasts right there. I'm going to put them in there. And I'm going to dust them with the flour, and then we're going to put them in a fry pan when they're dusted. That's all there is to it. It's not complicated, friends. Nothing I do is complicated, okay? And then we got the spices in there, and that's going to give it a really nice spice. And then we're going to take them. We don't want it to be too much dust in here. I mean, too much dust, too much flour in there. And we're going to take them, and we're going to make sure we got the right heat. We're almost there. And we're going to let them sear beautiful. That's all we're going to do. All right, here we go. Put them right in there. You know what I just realized? I'm forgetting the salt. I'm always forgetting something. So this guy right there didn't get any salt, so here we go. Make up for it. Right there, my friend. It wouldn't be my channel if I didn't forget something. But it's okay. That's the way we do it at home. We don't always remember everything, right? Unless you guys remember everything, then you're better than me. After 50 years, I still forget things. What are you going to do? This is going to be a nice, easy recipe, friends. I promise you're going to love it. Now, I'm going to make it the way my mama make it, which was putting some cannellini bean in there. Put your white beans, you can put whatever beans you want to put in there. Look at the mess I got everywhere, friends. I'll tell you about all the mise en place in a minute. I'm just cleaning up my mess a little bit. It's always nice to put a little flour in your salt container. There you go. So now I can see better. You know, I have an issue if I'm not organized or clean, eh? So here we go. I think we as cooks, friends, turn this on, turn this off. I think as cooks, I don't know about you, but we do better when we're nice and clean and organized. That's me anyway. I got flour in my hand. I got to wash them. Talking about being clean, I cook much better if I'm organized. I'm organized. I like to be organized. What can I tell you? In my desk, I'm organized. In my thing, I like to be organized. If there's mess, I can't concentrate. The mess disturbs me, so I like to be organized. Let's see what we got here. We're going to get them beautiful golden brown, and then we're going to put them on a tray, and we're going to cook them in the oven. With the onion, friends, I got red bell peppers. I got green bell peppers. Then I'm going to saute. But remember, the onion is always number first. Don't forget now. All right, let me see what we got here. We're getting there. We're getting there. We want to get a beautiful crust on this, friends. All right, so we got the peppers doing quite well. And then we're going to put the rest of the ingredients. And the rest of the ingredients are sun-dried tomatoes. I got sun-dried tomato cut very, very small pieces. If you can't find sun-dried tomatoes, don't worry about them. Those are dry sun-dried tomatoes. That means they're not in oil. And they're very moist. See the chicken looking good? Very simple recipe, right? You have to admit, huh? It's going to be smoky in here, friends. So now what else do we put in here? Well, we're going to put some garlic. We got a little bit of garlic in here. That's about a tablespoon of chopped garlic that I just chopped. And then we got some fresh oregano. You can use sage also. My mom used to use sage sometimes. It's delicious with sage. Okay, so now that we put the garlic, that means we're going to need some wet. Remember, the minute you put the garlic, you got to put wet. Moisture, otherwise you burn the garlic, right? And we don't want to do that. So now we're going to put some wine in there. Measure carefully. And now when you put wine, friends, remember, wine or vinegar. If you were to put vinegar, vinegar will go first. If you put wine, wine goes second. You got to let it reduce. You got to let the wine reduce. That means you got to let the wine, the alcohol come out. It's very important because what does that do? It's not because we want the alcohol out, because we kind of like the alcohol, actually. I mean, I don't know about you, but that's why I drink wine. Yeah? I don't drink wine because there's no alcohol in it. Otherwise, I might as well drink grape juice, right? I mean, the reason why you're drinking wine is because the alcohol. So why do you want it out? Because wine, when you, Mamma mia, let me take this out of there. When you bring it to boil, it tastes terrible. You want to get rid of that alcohol because you bruised it. Okay, so that's why you want to get rid of it. You're going to get the wine, you want to get the wine to evaporate. Guys, I'm going to move over here, okay? Watch out for the camera. I'm going to take the chicken, I'm going to pop it in the oven, 375 degrees. They're going to take about 12 minutes, 13 minutes. I don't know. We'll have to check it. We'll have to check it. So, I'm going to move this right over here, folks. It'll be, oh, mamma mia. So I can continue doing the whole thing. So remember, wine needs to be reduced. Unless we're using a fortified wine, because some people say, well, what do you mean it doesn't need to be reduced, fortified wine, like Port, Madeira, Marsala? Because those are fortified wine, they're already sweet, they're already reduced, they're sweet, they don't need to be reduced, you don't need to get the alcohol out. You can even put them at the end. It doesn't need to be reduced. You're reducing the wine to make it sweeter, so it's not better, because wine that's come as 180 degrees, trust me, it doesn't taste good. Okay, that's why you wanted to reduce it so it's smooth again. Well, fortified wine is already smooth, and so if you put it at the end, you're not going to bruise it, and it's going to be perfect. All right? So that's just for the fortified wine questions, and I get a lot of questions on that. All right, so we got the wine reduced, and how do you know if it's reduced? That's why they made spoon for, folks, so we can test it and see if it's nice. If it tastes good, that means it's reduced. If it tastes still alcoholic and not pleasant, reduce it more. Eventually it will. Now remember also, you got to cook with the wine you're willing to drink. If you're not willing to drink it, don't cook with it. It's not going to get any better if you cook it 15 minutes, okay? Very important, friends. We're going to put some tomato puree. I got about a cup of tomato puree in here. Cup of tomato puree. Right? And Some people say you can caramelize. You use a good tomato puree. You don't really need to caramelize it, I promise you. It's going to be nice like this. And then we're going to put some chicken stock. Chicken stock. I'm going to put about a cup and a half of chicken stock. And I'm going to let that cook for a minute, friends. And then at the last minute, we're going to put spinach, beans. Like you can skip the beans if you want to. Cream. But you serve it with beans, or you serve it with potatoes, or you serve it with some kind of noodles or mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes is delicious also. But the beans is going to give you a nice starch. Now, I use the Goya beans. I like them. They're already done. Years ago, you could never buy a bean in a can. They were mushy. They were not very good. Today, they really know how to do it. Otherwise, if you want to use dry bean, you can let them soak overnight. You rehydrate them, and then you can boil them. Now, there's a lot of that starchy water that comes out of it. It's not bad to use. First of all, it tastes good. You should try it. It tastes pretty good, but also it gives you a nice little thickness to your sauce. So try it. Okay, I'm going to use a little bit of the beans because I love them. I love beans. I'm going to put them all in there. That's a big can of beans I was using. That's a big can of beans. And then we're going to put a little bit of the, let's put the whole thing. Let's put the whole thing. Yeah, let's put the whole thing in there, friends. And then we're going to let this cook. Okay, so then after that, we're going to put a little cream, a little bit of Parmigiano Reggiano. But take my word for it, you don't want to put the Parmigiano Reggiano now, because then you're going to have a heck of a time cleaning your pot, because Parmigiano Reggiano is going to find his way in the bottom of the pot, and it's going to go in there. So the chicken is cooking. We're going to let it go. We're going to clean up. This is cooking. In the meantime, it's going to come to boil. I'm going to let it cook while this is cooking. And then toward the end, we're going to put the spinach in there, friends. And then we'll put the cream and the Parmesan, but we'll come back and we'll show you how to do all that. All right? So we'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, friends. We are back. We're not completely, chicken is still in there. It's not going to be quite ready yet, but I wanted to show you a couple of things. One, it's a little liquid. And remember, if for those of you that have watched my roux video, this is my cooked roux. For those of you that have not watched the roux video, I highly recommend you watch it. Jackie's going to put a link right there for you so you can check it out. If you don't have a cooked roux already, then you can't use a roux because you'd have to cook it. And this is toward the end of the dish, so just a little bit to thicken. Or otherwise you can use a little cornstarch. Dilute it in water, a little arrowroot, dilute it in water. But don't put raw flour here because it won't have time to cook, okay? So then we're going to put a little bit of cream. This is, I had a whole cup in here, and I think a half a cup is going to be sufficient. You see, half a cup is more than enough. Heavy whipping cream. You got to use the real stuff here. Okay, we're going to let this cook, and then we're going to add a spinach. There were big leaves of spinach. I just chopped them up roughly like this. No, you don't have to chop them up with a knife. I think it looks more rustic if we just put them in like this. And then you just check your seasoning. And we're done, my friends. We're going to wait for the chicken to cook. And at the last minute, we're going to put the Parmigiano Reggiano. And I'm going to wait just the last minute to do it. Because all I wanted to do is melt it. And I don't need to have it stick in the bottom of the pot. All right? So we'll be back in a second when the chicken is out of the oven. Okay, friends. I'm going to take out the breast out of the oven. And let them rest for a second. And we're going to finish the sauce. So now we're going to take a Parmigiano Reggiano. It's got to be Parmigiano Reggiano. And now you'll see how it's going to thicken. The cheese is going to thicken. And that's part of the deal. You don't need to put it in early, okay? Because I promise you. And then the minute you put it in, you'll see your bottom of the pot is going to stick. And Parmigiano Reggiano is going to melt really fast, you see? And look how beautiful that looks, friends. You see? I love it, just like that. So now at the last minute, what my mom would do is take some parsley leaves and just give it a rough chop. Nothing fancy, so nothing fancy at all. Just a rough chop. That's it, just like that, right? And then what she would do she would take the sauce, get rid of that chicken stock right there. You see? You take that sauce, so you can put it on top of it, you can put it on the side of it. And what she would do to make it nice, she would take a platter, you see, and get a ladle. So I got a serving platter, right? I mean, of course, you can, last night what I did is I put this sauce right there on top of the mashed potato, but I didn't have the beans in it. The minute you have the beans, you don't really need it, but it's really up to you, friends. You know, this is cooking, eh? Not rocket science. You do it the way you want it. Well, I got a lot of sauce right there. That's okay. I'd rather have extra than not enough, right? Right? Just simple like that. And then we take our chicken right there, and you just put them right on there, my friends. You see? Ooh, put them right on there like this, right? Just right on there, just like that. And then you take your little chopped chicken, chopped chicken. You're gonna say, "You sure you went drinking, chef?" I promise you, I wasn't. Right? Rough, and then take a couple of leaves of parsley not chopped. And my friends, right there, you have yourself a platter that you can serve at the table. And I'm going to need a plate. I forgot, I'm going to make myself a quick little plate so I can test it. Can I get a little plate, please? There you go. Plates arrive magically. And here we go. Just simple as a very simple serving. I just got to test it, friends, because I love it. Take my chicken right there. And all we're going to do, now we're going to forget this. And then we're going to slice it. Let me get myself a knife and a fork. And we're going to try it. And it's going to be perfect, you see? Beautiful. See, nice and, I like it nice and juicy, friends, you see? Beautiful. And be careful not to burn yourself. Every time I say that, you know what's going to happen. I'm going to burn myself. It is hot, but it is delicious. Friends, I hope you make this recipe. Remember, thumbs up if you like the recipe. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, ring that bell. Another question, and Jack was asking a minute earlier, said, how come you didn't cook them in a sauce instead of cooking them in the oven? You can certainly do that, especially if you're going to have bone-in, thighs, and leg. With a bone-in, you should cook them in a sauce. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next couple of days with another fantastic video.